Welcome to Magicians Talking Magic. My name's Graemazing, and today we have one of Magic's top creators returning guest this week, Double J, Josh Janousky. Welcome back to the podcast.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
It's so good to see you.
I know.
And I'm excited to have you here because you have a huge release through Ellusionist. Now, magicians love wallets, and you recently dropped what some are considering maybe one of the best multifunctional magic wallets on the market, the Hermes Wallet from Ellusionist.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us all about it?
Yeah, so this wallet, it has been my baby for the last couple of years. And so it was a collaboration between myself and Quiver. And so if anyone is familiar with any of the Quiver products, like you immediately know that this is going to be like quality. And that was really important for me just because when I came up with this wallet, I wanted something that could work as my everyday wallet. And as magicians know, like there's so many great wallets that have come out and they do what they do really well. But then like if you were to actually use them as your everyday wallet, you kind of get like looks at because like you pull out like a big like Monaco wallet, which like it's a great wallet, but like no one has carried that since like the 40s. So I really wanted something that looked like my everyday wallet and also could stand up to the use of my everyday wallet. And so that's how this came to be the Hermes wallet. So the funny story behind this is so before that I was using the Real Man's wallet as like my everyday wallet because like it actually looked like a wallet. Then when Quiver had come out with their card to wallet, I switched over because I liked it because it still functioned the same way as the Real Man's wallet. Like it was an everyday wallet, but it just like looked a little bit nicer. And then I made the decision a couple of years ago to switch over to like a minimalist style wallet, just because I wanted to see like could I do it. And like two of my best friends were using minimalist wallets at the time, so I was like, I want to try. I want to be cool like them. And so I remember this. I was speaking with both of them, Sean Cinco and Jeff Frace, and I was just like, "What wallet do you have? And like, do you have recommendations?" And so Jeff like showed me his wallet, and I was like, "Oh, that's like a cool looking wallet." And so I hopped on Amazon to try finding one, just because like the link he sent me worked in the U.S. but didn't work in Canada. Yay, Amazon Canada! So I was looking for one, and I found one that was basically this style of wallet. I really liked it because it had that like look of like your traditional like billfold, but it was obviously a lot smaller. It had like a clip for your money, which I just thought was kind of cool, and I really liked that I didn't think of until I got it was the little pull tab for the credit cards. I was like, that's really handy. And as soon as I got it, I'm looking at it, I'm like, can I do a card to wallet with that? Like, because of course, as a magician, what's your first thought when you get something? Because I was a little bit bummed that like I now didn't have a magical wallet, and at the time I was still carrying a business card wallet that our friend Ryan Edwards had made for me, so I could at least use that for mentalism stuff. But I was like, if I'm switching over to a minimalist wallet, I wish I had a wallet that could like do all the things I need, but was still small. And so I was looking at this, I was like, well, you know what? Like this could make a really cool and different card to wallet method. And then if you change this part around with the ID window, that could make a really good peak. I think this could be a really cool magician's wallet. And so like I sketched up some ideas and I was like, okay, like I need to work with someone because like I have no leather wallet knowledge myself. Like I had designed wallets throughout the years. Like I said, I had one that I had Ryan Edwards make. I had another wallet that I was in the process of having someone make like 3 years before. So like I kind of like knew people to talk to, but like myself, I didn't know the first thing about it. And then I was like, well, you know what? I really like my Quiver cards wallet. I wonder if I can do something with them. And so I reached out to Patrick Kuhn. I was like, hey, can you connect me with Quiver? And he was like, yeah, here's Kelvin's information. And I messaged Kelvin, and the two of us hit it off right away. Because it turns out, as big of a fan of his work, he was a big fan of mine. So like, it just happened to work out really well. And so I pitched him my idea, and he's like, "Oh, that's really cool. I really like that." And then he started working on the very first prototype. And I think like maybe like 2 months later, I had it in hand, and it was really, really bare bones. It literally only was doing the peak at that time, but it was more of like we were trying to like figure out the size and the placement of things, and so like it didn't have to be complicated. And I remember I was so excited because it showed up to work. And so I went to the front office, I got it, I was like, oh, this is so cool. And I found one of my coworkers and I was like, can I try something? And immediately did some mind reading with him. And I was like, all right, this is cool. I like where this is going. And so I called Kelvin up and I was just like, okay, this is what I really like. This is what I think we can change. And like 10 prototypes later, we ended up with what you have here today. And I'm so happy just because it really does everything that I like set out to do. And what's cool about it too is a lot of these features kind of like evolved naturally. Because like I said, originally it was just going to be a Peak wallet and a Cards wallet. That was it. And it was only going to be one method for Cards wallet. And then as we're working on it, um, Sean Cinca, who I mentioned earlier, he was like, oh, you know what? It'd be cool if you had out to lunch in there. And I was like, well, you know what? Like I did want a place for my business card. So yeah, that makes sense. And so we put out the lunch in there, which then led to a great idea from Kelvin where this is like the perfect wallet for nail writing. Like it's I know it's strange. You wouldn't think of that, but like with this wallet, you can set it up so that way you have a card in this pocket from the beginning, and then you have them name whatever it is, like a 3-digit number, and then you take out the card, and it's the number that they named. And it's just like it's so fair, it's so clean. It also makes nail writing a lot easier. Um, and so yeah, so we had that put in. Then Kelvin was like, "Hey, like let's see if we can get some sort of like switch function in there." And we had played around with a couple different methods, and then I reached out to the amazing Cameron Francis because he had a trick that he released a couple years ago called the Wallet Transformer, which was really really cool because it allowed you to take any everyday wallet and turn it into a card to wallet. And I was just like, that would be really cool if we could like include it with this because like I had some ideas that I felt could help like I can't say improve it because it's already like a freaking amazing trick and like again Cameron is incredible, but like I felt like I could add something to it that would at least help for this specific wallet. So I reached out to him and he was like, yeah, 100% you can use it. He was actually looking for a new wallet around that time, so I was like, I got a wallet for you. um, so he was gracious enough to let us include that. And so we tweaked it and updated it a little bit. And yeah, I honestly, I could not be happier with this thing because like this really is my everyday wallet. And like I was using it before the pandemic as my everyday wallet. I obviously since the pandemic I've still been using it as my everyday wallet. And it's really nice just because like I a lot of the times when you like release something, there's always like one tiny little thing that you like wish you could have done better. Like, and a lot of it's like outside of your control. Because like maybe it's like you came up with a great trick, but like the design of U.S. currency is stopping you from doing one feature or something like that. Like, there's always like tiny little things that are just outside of your control. And I'm so happy because this literally could not have been better. Like everything that I wanted happened with this and like this is definitely the proudest I've been of a product in a while, just because like I've been working on it for so long, and there was a lot of moments where we were just like, are we going to be able to actually like make this happen? Because like it's a tall order to be able to get a lot of those functions into like a normal sized wallet, and we're going for this tiny little guy here. And then of course like it seems that this year and last year were the year of the wallets, where like everyone suddenly started releasing wallets, and I was like, oh no, because like obviously I'd been working on this for a while, and I know everyone else was working on theirs for a while. So I was just like, is the market so too saturated? Like I hope people still want my wallet. So I'm so happy that like with the response and people have been getting it, and it's been a nice feeling knowing that this is now in like other people's hands besides like, me and Kelvin. Like now other people have that, which is just kind of cool. And I honestly can't wait till like magic conventions come back and like I can actually go to one, because I think it's going to be so cool. Like just like hanging out at a convention and see someone go to pay and be like, that's my wallet. They're using my wallet. Oh my god! So So yeah, that's my baby. That's the Hermes Wallet.
And talk about a cool progression in magic creation for you too, known as the kind of bill magician, creating so many bill tricks and now creating the thing that holds the bills, the wallet, right?
Exactly. No, honestly, one thing I want to do when like we have regular conventions again is if I have like a booth at a convention, I'm definitely gonna have like the wallet special where you get like a wallet and tricks that go into it kind of deal. Like I think that'd be kind of like a fun little thing to do. But yeah, and that's actually I'm really glad that you mentioned that because I know a lot of people are like nervous when they see wallets that have like money clips instead of like the pocket because like obviously that's what everyone is used to for the longest time. You keep your money in your pocket. And like, I mean, I carry obviously my money tricks that I do in this wallet. So like, you totally can.
I want to point out
So
too for the people that are listening, you've got Canadian money too, which
yes,
is difficult to put in clips sometimes as well, and it looks like it's fitting in there
exactly.
great.
Yeah, I have Canadian bills in here. I have U.S. bills. I think I tried with some UK bills. I just don't have them on me at the moment. But yeah, so it holds them perfectly fine, and so I'm able to keep my money that I'm saving for special effects in here, but I also keep my everyday cash in here as well. So, and also the other thing that I really like about this is like, so this wallet does a lot of stuff, but you don't have to use all the features. Like it's modular in the way that we designed it. So if you want to include the wallet transformer, you 100% can. If you don't and you want to keep that pocket for holding on to credit cards or something, you can do that as well. If you want to use this for out of lunch, you can. If you want to use this to hold credit cards and that to hold something else, you totally can. And then like we have three different methods for card to wallet on here. So like you have your choice of how you want to do it. There are palm methods, there are no palm methods. So it's just been so much fun. And then also the other thing that I really like about this is we made a Facebook group for it, just because like I'm like yourself in a bunch of different Magic Facebook groups, and I feel like those are really important because like people share great ideas. And with this specifically, I knew that I had like some ideas that like how I would use it because obviously I included that in the instructions. But I knew other people use their wallet differently than me, and I want to be able to see how people share. And we already have had such great ideas of that people put in some really really clever ways of getting the peak and stuff like that. And so it's been really cool seeing other people share their ideas and tips as they've got to use this wallet. So I really like that because I feel like you obviously are getting the instructions and there is a lot of them. We have like 3 hours of instruction and it's like 2 hours is me going through everything you would ever need to know about this wallet, including if you've never used like a magic wallet before, like I teach you how to do a peek, all the slides needed for card to wallet, etc. And then we have an hour and 15 minutes with Spidey, mental as an expert Spidey, going into cold reading. And he just gives these incredible details all about cold reading. If you've never done cold reading before, like I would almost say it's worth picking up this wallet just for that masterclass with Spidey. And then I'll see you have a nice wallet afterwards. But seriously though, he's given so much information. And so it's been great because like I feel like I gave all this information at the time that I could, but like I knew people would come up with additional ideas and even like myself, I knew I would come up with things. And so that's why I wanted to have the Facebook group. So that way this could be like a living, breathing, like instructional thing. Like that's I think one of the huge benefits of like nowadays with the internet and like streaming instructions and downloads and stuff like that is you can add new things, whether it's like you add new ideas to the instructions or these Facebook groups or you send out an email newsletter or whatever it is. I think it's really great that like you can make these tricks sort of have a longer life because rather than just like, okay, I watched the 15-minute instruction and that's it. I guess I'll never watch that instruction again. Like now you can be like, oh wait, he added a new idea or I saw this really cool thing on the Facebook group. I want to go ahead and try that. And yeah, like I mean I won't spoil it for anyone, but like there is a thing that I've done now using this credit card to set up for this wallet. And that was an idea that someone posted in the Facebook group. And when I saw that, I was like, that's brilliant. I'm going to do that. So Yeah, and even also like there's other like tiny things that we really worked on with this wallet. So for example, one of the things included is a privacy filter, and lots of wallets have used that. I believe it was uh, the Telethought wallet. I think was the first one to do it from Chris Kentworthy, or at least that's the one that like I'm familiar with. Um, and what's really cool is most of the filters nowadays that people like include with their wallets are two-way privacy filters,
Okay.
which means that they're great from two specific angles. So when you have one in, you are either cleared both like in front and behind you, or both like side to side. But if anyone is in the other angles, they can see into the
Mm-hmm.
wallet, which isn't that helpful when it comes to a privacy filter. And so we worked really hard to get a four-way privacy filter made, meaning that like when you have that filter in, you have no fear whatsoever of anyone seeing like anything that's inside. Literally only you would be able to see it, and it just looks like it's an empty wallet to anyone else. And so like it's like those details that like we worked really hard to make sure, because like I want this to be people's like everyday wallet. I want them to use this, and so I didn't want someone to be like, I wish it was just like a little bit better. So like that's why I was saying like I literally could not be happier with this, because there was so much work, effort, and time put into this. And like especially with the pandemic, oh my gosh, that clearly threw everyone for a wrench. But like it was tough because like me and Kelvin are on different parts of the world. So like communicating and getting samples, and I remember there was literally one wallet sample that he had sent me that like I wasn't able to get for 2 months just because of like the way the mail was. Like it was like just lost. They lost it for 2 months, and we were finally able to get it. And like even with filming the instructions, like I had plans. I was like, all right, like I'm gonna film this like badass trailer, and I'll film it in a studio. And it was like, just kidding, you're filming everything in your living room. So like there were a lot of hurdles to overcome, but we got there in the end, and now you too can hold my baby,
That's so
which sounds weird.
incredible. I'm so curious. You personally, what's the effect that you perform the most? And then also, what's your favorite effect out of all the effects that have
Ooh,
been that were created on the project? I guess so. Like pre Facebook group,
yeah. Okay,
not
pre
to
Facebook
spoil
group.
those nuggets. You know.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, honestly, the two features that I like the best because they were important for me was the card to wallet, just because I thought that was such a cool method. And for those of you who haven't seen the trailer, the signed card ends up in your wallet in between two credit cards. And then once it's in there, you can hand them the wallet. Like they hold the wallet, they take it out, which is really cool. Because normally with like other Magic wallets, you kind of have to like, you can let them take it out, but you have to like start it for them, or you still have to be holding the wallet. Like this is like, nope, here you go. You take it out, you pull the tab, it's all yours. So I love that.
And it's a
And
fun
then repeat.
experience for them too. The little pulley tab and the risey rise.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's very theatrical
Yeah.
when you do that. So I love that, and I also the peak that I came up with. Like when I was doing like restaurant magic and performing every single week, I would do stuff with peaks all the time, and so I really like the peak for this one because I feel like it's very justified. It's very easy. And then also with the routine that I came up with, what's really great about it is you reveal a bunch of information before you ever actually get the peak. So when the spectators sort of backtrack, they've been holding the wallet the entire time, and you knew all this information. And so it's just like it's really powerful. So like those were the two before I started the project. I was like, yeah, this is it. And then there were a couple of ideas that came along during the actual filming of this that I really enjoyed. Like I mentioned earlier, Kelvin had come up with a really great idea for the nail writing, which was something I never would have thought of because I didn't really do any nail writing, and since then now I've been practicing it. Um, so there's that. Kelvin also had a really fun idea that we used with the wallet transformer that I've turned into now a routine, where you have someone name a card, and then you open up your wallet and you show inside that you have one playing card, and you say, what was your card? And they name the three clubs, and you pull out a deck of cards, and then you go into an invisible deck. routine, and that is the one card flipped around. But like that, I think is so cool because like producing a full deck of cards out of this is just already like a stunning moment. And so you just be like, name any card. What was your card? Three of clubs? Yeah, I know it's in here somewhere. And you pull out the deck of cards, and then you end with invisible deck. Like, talk about 1-2 punch.
I know you just, I know our listeners are just like, that is such a cool idea. I have to get my hands on this. This is so much fun.
Thank you.
I want to ask you a question about, and this is more like talking magic shop, I guess, because this is Magicians Talking
Yes.
Magic. So when it comes to
Oh my
routining,
gosh.
when you do a peak routine, what's your, I don't want you to give away your whole presentation, but what's your favorite thing to reveal, or how do you present your routine usually? You know what I mean?
No, that's a great question. So I obviously love doing names. I know a lot of people do like drawing duplications or locations. I really like names, just because I feel that with the names, obviously, it's a little bit more personal when you do it. Also, going back to when I was in the restaurant, and I talk about this on my Penguin lecture, so this has already like been out in the world. But I would use that information for my Instagram prediction effect. I would always reveal someone's name using my effect IG. So like I like the name thing, and then also the other reason is like before I had my conversation with Spidey, like I did do some cold reading, and I found it for me personally, it was much easier to do cold reading based off of people, and being able to reveal some of that information. Uh, then obviously after having that chat with Spidey, my mind was blown. It was like I can cold read anyone now. So like at the time though, before we had that discussion, it was names were the ones I felt the most comfortable with. So that's what I like to personally do with the peak, because I feel like combining these other effects that I do, and then just like inherently at its core, the fact that if you reveal the name that someone was thinking of, like that's a pretty powerful trick. Like you could straight up just be like, "Who are you thinking of?" Okay, was it Billy? And they would freak out, and like that's zero presentation. Like so, like now if you take that and you add in the cold reading and or if you add in a prediction from earlier or something, like that's when it just really takes it to the next level.
Is
So
there
yeah.
is there an element, do you think, on the entire project? Because when we create, I know when magicians create these projects, and I've created maybe like one or two, but when you create a project, you come up with so many ideas, and you often create one idea, and you're like, no one's ever going to do this, but it's so good. What would you say is like the hidden gem on there that you don't know if that you think, I don't know if anyone's brave enough to either create or try this thing?
Okay, I'm trying to think. There is a mental epic that I teach with this one,
Okay.
that I really like. That's also one of the ones that, like, as I was working on this project, when I came up with this, is like, I really like this idea. I'm not 100% sure if everyone would do it, but I really, really enjoy it. I think it's a really, really fun routine in general. I feel like mental epic is cool, just as an effect. And the reason I particularly like this is with the handling I came up with. I feel like I don't want to say fixed, because fixed sounds very like cocky, and egotistical, but I feel like there's one aspect of any kind of mental epic routine, one ahead routine. I'll just at least say that, that there's always that like bit of discrepancy. And I feel like I came up with a really, really good solution for that. There we go. We say solution, not fix, because like solution implies that there's other ways of doing it. I came up with my personal solution. I think is really, really great because it avoids any discrepancy. And I think combining it with the subtleties that you're able to do with this wallet, with that routine, I think it just really makes it like a really, really nice routine. And it's definitely, I don't necessarily know if everyone will do it, but like I think everyone should at least try it, because like it's a really cool routine, and I know I really was like proud of myself when I came up with it. I was like, oh, this is fun. I hope people do this. So that was honestly my like pure reaction at the time. I was like, I really like this. I hope other people do too. So I'll say that one I think is probably I guess the best hidden gem. I mean, it's not
Sure,
super hidden. There's a time code on the explanation,
sure,
but
sure, but you
like,
know what I mean.
yes,
We all know what I mean.
yes.
Besides this epic wallet that you created, right?
Mhm.
What do you think is your favorite creation out of all your magic tricks? Because you've created so many things now.
honestly, it's so tough because like there's a lot of different things I love for different reasons.
Hmm.
Um, and so I don't necessarily know if I can choose like my specific favorite because like I love Whiplash because like that was like my
Yeah.
first physical product, and that also the trailer for that is still to this day makes me laugh. Like I we had so much fun with that one. Phase has a very special place in my heart because that was really like my first big release, and like it's still to this day is something that like people like really like love and want to see. Ripped and Relocated is really important to me because it was done on Magic for Humans. And Justin Woolman was the magician who got me into magic. So to see him perform my trick on TV was just like the coolest moment
So
ever.
cool.
There was my lecture notes, just Joshin, that you are very familiar with because you helped me out with. And I really love that one because that was a huge collaboration because you helped me with it. Jeff and Sean, who I mentioned earlier, they both helped out. My friend Lindsay, who's not a magician, but she's awesome. Hi, Lindsay. She helped out with that as well. So like that was like a really cool project because like I got to collaborate with so many of my friends. So I don't know if I don't think I can really choose a favorite. Like I said, it's sort of like if you ask me for more specific favorites, being like, what is your favorite trick that you did in Las Vegas? I'd be like, oh, I can tell you this one.
Yeah.
But like,
Okay.
if you want, like, it's IG, by the way. But
Yeah.
if you want like more of in general, it's really difficult to choose. Like, I mean, people always like compare them to like, oh, it's trying to pick a favorite child, and like, it sounds cliche, but like, it's hard. Like, there's like so many like, for me, when I release stuff because I love it and I use it and I want other people to use it. Like I will never release something just to be like, I'm gonna put it out there and maybe I'll make a couple of bucks off of that. Like no, like if you get something from me, you know that like I've used it and I've thought about this for hours and days and weeks. And so like that's why it's hard for me to pick one because it's like I worked hard on all of them. I love them all. So
The one thing that you keep bringing up, which I think is kind of important, is collaboration. How important do you
yes.
think is collaborating on creative ideas, working with other people, even outside of magic, when you're coming up with these ideas?
Oh my God, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. I mean, and I feel like there's a lot of different ways that you can like collaborate with people. Like, yes, there's like the obvious one of like, hey, here's a trick. Do you like it? But then there's like other things like collaborate with someone who maybe has a better like magic knowledge than you, and they can help you track down like credits and history, or collaborate on like, hey, this is the design that I'm going to use for the packaging. What do you think? Like getting someone else's input on that. But so it's hugely important. I mean, whenever you get a project from me, there's always like I always have the credit section where like I thank people, and there's always like the important credits, which are like the if there's a routine that's inspired by someone or had similar work, like I always mention that. But then like there's always like names that like I'll mention as well, just because they are people who played a huge part in helping me create this. So yeah, if you ever want to have like a fun game, go through all of my projects and like see which names keep on like popping up and then keep a list. But
Sure, yeah.
it's a thing. Like honestly, collaboration is so important, and I feel like it's important for any creative field. Like I mean, I work in film and animation, and I'm constantly like getting feedback from my coworkers and even like when I was in college or if I'm working on something like some sort of like art or something, I get people's input or a photo. So it's like collaboration is just important in general. And I feel like when you collaborate, you get things that you get well, first of all, you get a perspective that's not your own. And then often you get really cool things that like you never would have thought of. Like honestly, like straight up plugging you right now. But when we did the Just Joshin, and you were just like, oh hey, by the way, I made this thing. Maybe you want to use it for the trailer. And it was just like the little at the end, the little pop up of like my name and the title and stuff. And I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. Oh my God, this is 100% like you had literally, I don't remember the exact phrasing, but I think you were like, oh, hey, I made this if you want to use it. Like you were just like so casual about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is incredible. This needs to be it. Like, yes, thank you. Thank you. And like, I would never have thought of that. Like in my head at the time, I had an idea for the trailer, but I had no idea what I was going to do at the end. I was like, I guess I'll just put like available now or something. And then you made that awesome like splash title at the end. And I was just like, I would never. First of all, I wouldn't have known how to do that because. Quick side note for people. So I'm an animator, but I do character animation, which is like people and creatures.
Sure.
I know nothing about motion graphics. People ask me all the time about motion graphics. I know nothing about motion
Whereas
graphics.
I know a lot about motion graphics,
I
and
was
I
gonna
can't
say
do character animation. So there you go.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so like I would never have thought of being able how to do that. So the fact that you made that for me was just like the coolest thing because I was like I wouldn't even know where to begin with something like that. So yeah, that's why I think collaboration is important. Just because you get these ideas, you get these new things that you would never have been able to do on your own that takes the product or project or whatever to the next level. So very important in my opinion. Also helps if you have like really good friends too, just when they're out there. Like
I was
maybe
gonna
a
say, I
certain
think
like host of a podcast is a good person to be friends with.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's all about the trust, right? You got to trust that group that you're collaborating with.
Exactly.
That's the
Exactly.
biggest key and the essential part to that whole thing. I bet. I know I'm curious. You just released a whole wallet. What is next in the works? Are you coming out with a bag of money effect? Is it a safe? What's the next? Is it a bank? Are we heisting a bank? What do we do, Josh?
I told you not to mention that one on air.
Oh,
the
shoot.
bank heist was just right.
Oh, shoot.
No, I do have a couple of projects coming out. I have a really cool bill change that will be coming out. I have a really, really fun trick with gum that'll be coming out. There's a couple of different things. There's also a bunch of projects that right now that like I'm searching for homes for them. Like I'm trying to figure out the best place to go with them. But yeah, there's a lot coming, which I'm excited personally just because it has been. I think the last time I released something before this wallet, like big release, because like I'd done like an any card at any number download by myself, like a year and a half ago or something.
Oh, I
But
totally
I think the
remember.
last, yeah, it's called You Can Do It. Available now at justjoshmagic.com. You can cut that out of the interview if you want. But yeah, I think the last one that I released was I think it was Ripped and Relocated, and that was like 2018, 2019 maybe. Honestly, it's kind of all blending together now at this point. The pandemic has really made time a weird thing. But like that was like the last time I had released something, so it was just it's been so nice to like have a project out again, and especially a physical project because like I like doing downloads because obviously you can learn them instantly, which is like one of the cool things about Magic. Like, can you think about like even like 10 years ago, the thought of like getting a trick and knowing it that day? Like that's crazy. But there's just something about like a physical like project that's just like so cool. Also, it's just exciting to like when you get that package in the mail and you open up the box and you go, oh, what? Like that's what's there. Like there's just something cool about that. And then as a creator, it's just like exciting to like physically have like stuff of your own. Like I honestly, people were getting their physical copies of like the packaging before I even got mine because like we wanted to make sure that they were getting their
Sure.
stuff right away. So like it's just cool to be able to like have something that you physically like. This was in my brain and now it's in my hands. That's cool. So
For me,
it's been a while. So.
For me as an outsider too, it's actually pretty cool because we had Kyle Purnell on earlier this year, and he recently released the cell phone vanish, right?
Yes.
With
Yes.
ellusionist.
Dropped call.
Yeah, dropped call. There you go. I couldn't remember the name, but
I got you, Kyle. Don't worry.
there you go. But that's always been one of my favorite Magic experiences ever. I remember first seeing that at Magi Fest, and that's when I first met you too. So it's so cool to see you both. Boom, have huge releases on Illusionist this year. So look at that.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Kyle because if anyone followed him on social media, he had been posting about the Hermes Wallet long before it came out. Because Kyle was one of the guys going back to collaboration that I sent one to like test out and try. And I remember he was doing his takeover of the Penguin Magic Instagram, and someone asked him like, oh, like what's a trick that you carry with you all the time? He's like, oh, like I carry this. This is the Hermes Wallet by Josh Janousky. It's not out yet, but it'll be coming soon. I was just like, what a nice guy. Like he didn't have to mention that. Like he easily could have been like, and like I carry calculator cards by myself. Like he could have easily have plugged anything.
Sure.
And I just really appreciate that. So like shout out to Kyle. He's a great guy. And he also incredible magic. Like we just talked about Dropped Call. Super dope magic. So like go check it out if you haven't. It's awesome.
It is.
So I'm just plugging all the things now. Not even I've plugged you.
I know.
I've plugged Kyle. Anyone else need a plug? Let me know. I got you.
You got it all. That's awesome. Josh, this has been a great episode talking all about your wallet and even actually diving into, your favorite parts about it and getting some trick ideas from you too. So thanks so much for jumping on this week's episode of Magicians Talking Magic.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. See you guys.
Oh, and then, you know what we do at the end of the
Yes.
podcast? We meow like cats.
I was gonna say there's meowing. I remember that.
Yeah. Okay,
so.
ready?
Okay. Wait, hold on. I need to like.
Okay.
I need to prep. I haven't meowed in a while, so. All right. I'm ready.
Meow. Oh, that was a good one.
Thank you.
Look at that. I like that.